Well, I want to first of all wish you God's richest blessing on this year 2010. And I'm asking God for you that you will align yourselves with heaven and all that He is wanting to pour into your life in these days. And we started this year on our Sunday mornings, and you can look at those morning meetings, or you can even join us live on Revival Fires TV and be part of what God is doing with us as a church here. And also, if you're connected with us through your links with Revival Fires, then you're already partnering with us. And I want you to really move into all that God has for you in these days. And I believe it's time for us. See, each year they carry significance for us. And this year, 2010, and in the Hebrew timelines, it's the year 5770. Now, there's a way in which the Hebrews broke up time. And it's very simple. I just want to give you a taste, because you can download this whole message where I go into it in some depths. But what they do is they take the numbers and they just simply add them together. So 5 plus 7 equals 12. And there's significance in 12. And then there's 7 plus 0, which equals 7. And I believe there's, again, significance in that. And then you just add those two numbers together, which brings you to 19. 1 plus 9 equals 10. Now I want you to see there's three things there that bring about completion, order, and authority. See, 7 is the number of completeness. It's God's completeness, like in creation. And I believe that 12 is delegated authority. It wasn't until the 12 tribes of Israel that they had a kingdom. Also, the 12 disciples, when Jesus had 12 disciples, He gave authority to. And also, 10 is the order of arrangement, where you have the commandments, the 10 commandments. It's order of arrangement, God arranging things into an orderly completeness. And so there's things that are different. I believe that we are moving into the order of heaven in these years of 2010. And as we move into the order of heaven, God arranging things in your life so that you come into the order of heaven that God wants you to be in. Because that's going to prepare you for 2011. But also, I believe it's going to equip us for God releasing the authority of the kingdom to us. And mark these things, over the next 3 years, God is going to do some significant things, culminating in, I believe, an incredible release of kingdom authority into our lives in 2012. Many people are saying 2012 is going to be such a key, vital point for the church. And I believe that with all my heart. Just as these numbers begin to track a course, I want you to track the course of heaven. Align yourselves with the things of heaven. But on top of all of that, I go in, you can download the message and get it in full, but I look at what is going to prepare us, and that is the favor of God or the grace of God. Joe Paul in 1 Corinthians 15, he talks there and he says these words, "But by the grace of God I am what I am." And then it says, "And His grace to me was not without effect. No, I worked harder than all of them, yet not I, but the grace of God." And I just go into the whole message then of how we can align. It's through the grace and through the favor of God. Grace and truth came through Jesus. So we need to be connected. Grace is not a commodity. Grace is a person. It's an encountering with God. Just like Paul encountered God. You see, grace is transforming. It transforms our lives. I am what I am by the grace of God. So it's transforming power. But it's also effective grace. It says there, His grace to me was not without effect. And how can we cause grace to have an effect in our lives so that we really do come into the full measure of what God has for our lives? And then I finish off with energizing grace, where he says that his grace to me was not without effect, and I worked harder than anyone. See, it's not a case of works, it's a case of grace working in us and grace working through us. And I want you to really come into alignment with heaven in this year, where God orders and arranges your life so that you can come into the fullness of what he has for you, culminating in 2012. I think we need to have, and I'm going to be talking in the weeks ahead and talking about time horizons, prophetic time horizons. And you can continue to follow me through this whole train of aligning ourselves with heaven. But you see, the prophetic is all about time horizons. And I want to talk the next time that I speak here on a Sunday morning, I want to talk about the time horizons, how we can set horizons in place in our lives so that we fulfill the fullness of what God has for us.